What's up, guys? We're back for episode 9 of the Two Troubled Show. Thank you for watching, viewing, liking, and subscribing. If you have not seen our Spurs 2K rebuild yet, go check that out. Tell us what you thought. Trav, give them the rundown.
Yeah, we got some NBA today. We're going to talk a little bit about Messi, big news there. And then we're going to finish it off a little NFL schedule, talk a little bit about more news. And as always, we got Going Mobile. Stay tuned for that. Keep watching, and we got a fun show planned for you guys. So stay. And as always, I am your host, Travis Chadwick, and I'm here with
Tucker Grace.
And let's get right into the fucking show. NBA playoffs. Here we go. Nuggets, Heat. We talked a little bit about Game 1. We gave you a recap last podcast. Games 2 and 3. Games 2, basically, was very entertaining. Went down to the wire. Nuggets had a shot to tie it with the 3. He missed it, and it was 1-1. And then now the Heat are down 1-2. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I was feeling bad for Jokic in that game too, because he was just carrying the team all by himself. 41 points, 10 boards. He had a fucking double-double like it was nothing. But the rest of his team didn't do anything to help him out, unfortunately. So you got to feel for Jokic there. Yeah,
I do feel bad for him. There was this other podcast that's not as good as ours, but Draymond Green had Steve Kerr on, and Steve Kerr was talking a little bit about what he saw within the games.
Yeah.
And specifically, he was really hanging on that they kind of just let Jokic score.
Yeah.
Jokic is like one of the best passing big men. He's a facilitator. He could run the point sometimes. And it was really interesting that he only had 4 assists in that game. And Steve Kerr was touching on it that, like, Jamal Murray is the so-called head of the snake, is what the terms that he used. And they're like, you take away Jamal Murray, let Jokic do his thing. You take away Jamal Murray, the Nuggets train kind of stops running a little bit. And we definitely saw that because Murray didn't have as good as a game. And when you just let Jokic score and you really don't let him pass, like, it kind of limits the rest of what Denver does. And that's what we saw in Game 2.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's an interesting tactic, but I guess it didn't work 100% of the way. The Nuggets were in that game for sure. But I don't know. I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to stop any team is capable of stopping both of those guys, Murray and Jokic. It's just impossible. I mean, you got the best passing, shooting, just the best big man in the league, period. Yeah. And then you have a Jamal Murray who is also very capable and respected in his position. I mean, he could go off for 30 and a half, as we've seen in earlier in the playoffs. So they're a tough team no matter how you slice it up and no matter how you want to guard them or who you want to take away the points from. It really doesn't matter, in my opinion.
I mean, I guess for a little bit for Miami, though, it did matter because they did steal Game 2, especially in Denver, in Mile High, which no team has won in Denver, in that stadium, in that altitude before.
That is true.
Miami was the first team to do that. So I think what they did was worked. And, I don't know what their plan was and what they tried to do in Game 3, but obviously that did not work as well as Game 2, but they did steal one in Denver, which AD and LeBron weren't able to do. KD and D-Book weren't able to get one in Denver. And so that was that. Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo did something that a lot of these teams have not been able to do this year.
That is very true. And kind of segueing that to Game 3, this was not the case whatsoever because we had the first ever 2 players both having triple-doubles ever in an NBA Finals game. I mean, you had Jokic and Murray both with triple-doubles. I think Jokic had 21 boards. It was like absolute insane stat line. And, I mean, there was nothing that he could do in Game 3.
Outside of Bam Adebayo, they really don't have any big presence. Like, Caleb Martin is not going to get boards over Jokic, and Tyler Zeller is not going to do. Cody Zeller, whoever that is not going to do that as well.
You cannot ask Cody Zeller to go guard Jokic. That's not going to work out too well for you.
So in my head, it's just really like we've touched on this throughout the last 3-4 episodes. As long as the whole NBA playoffs is going on, is Jamal Murray is one of the spottiest players in the league, and you saw them. They tried to bring the double on Murray all the time, but when he's on, he's on. So, but again, he's spotty, so maybe Game 4 rolls around and he's not as on as he was in Game 3, and Denver ends up losing, and now we have an even series again. But it really what Steve Kerr said on Draymond's Green podcast is really what it is if Jamal Murray can play well and get his points, the Denver's going to win. Jokic is going to get his 30 plus no matter who you play.
Yeah.
I mean, but so it's really just if you can maintain Murray and you could stop those guys from scoring, and you have to force guys like Christian Braun, you have to force guys like Aaron Gordon to score, then Miami has a more than capable shot to win this series.
I definitely think Miami's capable. I mean, I've been saying this to you, to some of our friends, but I think if any team can go into this finals and beat Denver, it's going to be Miami. I mean, you've seen them take down the biggest dogs in the East. And no one expected Miami to bring it this far, but Jimmy and that Heat team has a different type of fire under them right now, and we'll see what happens. They're going back to Miami for Game 4, so they got the home court advantage. Hopefully they can tie the series up, make it a 2-2 game, because I know I actually did predict a 4-0 sweep for the Denver Nuggets. But in all honesty, I do want to see a close series. I do want to see a back and forth. I want to see a Game 7. I want to see a Game 7. And I'd be worried if I was a Nuggets fan, because I don't see Jimmy Buckets losing a Game 7, unfortunately, for the Nuggets.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. They first have to get there. The Heat have to focus on winning 2 more games, which is difficult in itself. But because obviously, I mean, just look at roster-wise, the Heat are outmatched.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
I wanted to ask you this. Do you think that Jokic has done enough so far in the finals so far that if the Nuggets were to win, he has secured his finals MVP?
I feel like that's pretty obvious. He's putting up 41. He's putting up numbers like that. He's getting 21 boards a game. I don't see why you can't give it to Jokic. As much as we were talking about like Murray being the head of this thing, and if you can stop Murray from scoring, Jokic is going to get his points either way.
Yeah.
But I do think that at the end of the day, just it's hard to argue stats, and Jokic has those numbers.
No, 100%. I agree. And the reason I was asking you is because I think so I wanted to see what you thought.
Yeah.
I have one more question for you, though.
All right, let me hear it.
There's been talks and some rumors that Tyler Hero might be getting close to being ready to play again. I think he's practiced a little bit, but I think they're on the fence of whether he should come back and play. So I don't know. Do you think that, the Heat are on a roll right now? They've been doing well. Why change up the lineup? Right, because if you kind of go back and look, it's almost like the Heat started playing better as soon as Tyler Hero got hurt, and some of those other guys like Duncan Robinson are able to get more playing time, and the Heat have been performing. So what do you do if you're Eric Spoelstra?
Well, it depends how ready is Hero. If he's not 100% ready, I'm not throwing him in there. Just he hasn't played in 3 or 4 weeks, and we're gonna Game 4, the most important game of the season. We're gonna throw him in and see how he does. But if he's ready to play, I think you have to play him. He's one of your best players, And a lot of the times when you watch Miami, there's times where they go through dry spells, and especially when Jimmy Butler's not playing, they really don't have a scorer on that team. They try to do a lot of catch and shoot with Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin when Jimmy Butler's not in the game, but there's really not a scorer that you can give the ball to and he can create his own shot.
Yeah.
So, and Bam Adebayo tries to do that, but he, as you've seen, his field goal percentage outside of, I think, Game 2 has been, or Game 1. Outside of Game 1, he played very well. But outside of that, his trying to create his own offense when Jimmy Butler's not in the game, that's just not what Bam Adebayo does. And you're trying to force him to do that because you can't make Jimmy Butler play 48 minutes a game. So I think having a guy that can, pull up off the dribble and create his own shot would be very pivotal for Miami and would maybe stop those little scoring droughts that they have every once in a while.
Yeah, no, I could see that, but a wise man once said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, I mean, if your Heat team's on a roll, I mean, I guess they did just lose Game 3.
Yeah, they're down 1-2. They might need to change some things.
I mean, they got there without Tyler, so why throw him in now? I don't know. That's my thought process. I mean, it just kind of throws off the whole dynamic of the team that has been winning you games recently.
Yeah, but then you could say the same thing for if you're in the finals and you're up 2-0, or LeBron's not playing. You're just, LeBron didn't play the first 2 games. I'm not going to throw him in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the audience would agree that there's a little bit of a difference between LeBron not playing and Tyler Hero not playing, but...
I mean, but Tyler Hero, LeBron, I would say LeBron is the Lakers' second best player and Tyler Hero is Heat's second best player. So I guess when you correlate it like that, they're similar.
You taking Hero over Bam?
Scoring-wise, yeah.
Really?
I think Harrow's a better scorer than Bam, no doubt.
You know, Tyler was 6-man earlier in the season, right?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Okay. No,
if you're talking defense, then obviously Bam's better. But we're talking about just the scoring sense. Then I think there's no doubt that Harrow's better. He can shoot the ball. He can create his own dribble. It's Bam. You watch Bam do his little 5-footers that he tries to float them in there, and he misses 50% of the time.
Yeah. All right. We can agree to disagree. I think the Heat should just keep rolling. Keep rolling with the punches. Let Jimmy cook.
Yeah.
We had some really huge news this week. Topic we haven't really touched, or sport we haven't really touched on too much in the podcast just yet.
Yeah.
But you got Messi joining the MLS in Miami.
No, it's
crazy.
Inter Miami signs Messi. That's a huge win for the MLS. You know, American soccer in general has just been the laughing stock, you know, of just soccer around the world. You know, if you're going to go play soccer and you're really good, like Pulisic, who plays for the American national team, you know, he's going to go play in Europe. He plays for Chelsea. He's going to go play in Europe because MLS soccer, American soccer clubs are a joke. So getting Messi might be a first step, and obviously it's going to take tens of hundreds maybe of years to compete with Euro soccer just because they've been doing it for so long. But getting Messi here, the amount of revenue, I think Inter Miami ticket prices before Messi joined were at like $19 and now they're up to $350. So you're getting one of the greatest of all time away from Europe and into America. And I mean, the amount of stuff that he got for his we're coming to Miami for like his contract, I guess you could say. I don't think he's signed it yet, but he gets a full revenue, like he gets a share of revenue in Apple, he gets a share of revenue in Adidas for coming and bringing a wider audience to MLS. So and then I think the biggest thing, like he's playing for David Beckham's team, right, Inter Miami, and now the MLS said if Messi comes, now he can own his own team in the future. So I think that's another that's a generational wealth you can have beyond just your playing career. Yeah. Whereas I think that's why he turned down the $1 billion that Saudi Arabia gave him. And, as we talked about, if you're a common viewer, we've talked about their dirty money scandals in the past.
We have touched on that with Live Golf a little bit.
Yeah. So I think Messi definitely wanted to stay away from there. He kind of saw what Ronaldo and Live Golf and all those guys kind of get a negative connotation around them going and playing in Saudi Arabia. So I think he kind of wanted to steer clear and probably got just as much or even more valuable contract. I guess it's not cash.
It's not part of his contract, but I mean, it is interesting. Like you said, he turned down $1 billion with Saudi Arabia, but he is making up for it. I would assume it'll be interesting to see how the numbers work themselves out. But you have to imagine partial revenue stream in Apple and in Adidas is going to be huge for him.
No, exactly. And I mean, you just saw by the ticket prices of how much they went up. I can't imagine how many more people are going to be watching the games, and that's what he's not like Apple gave him half their company.
Right.
From the Apple TV, how many viewers they get more than the last season. He gets a chunk of that revenue stream, which is, I can guarantee you that's going to be in the millions of dollars.
Yeah, no, I mean, not like Messi needs any more money, but if he's going to be signing anywhere, I'm sure he's going to want his goddamn money.
No, exactly. Money's nice, man, no matter how much you have. So
That is true. And then another very, very recent, I mean, we were just watching this game right before we started filming here.
Yep.
We got the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Finally, a glimmer of hope for your for your Florida Panthers. We're not in the NFL right now.
Florida Panthers win Game 3. Huge game for Florida. They needed to. You get out in 3-0, you're basically out. They go. Dunzo. They go in the third period. There's 2 minutes left in the game. Chuck finally scores the time-winning goal and the game-tying goal. Excuse me, and I was like, oh my God, we have hope. Because I was going down to 2 minutes. I'm like, wow, they're really going to go 0-3. And I just have this hockey curse against me. And it's giving me hope. And it's probably just going to shut me down again the next game. But
I love it, yeah.
Back in Florida, Game 4, you can tie up the series at home, make it 2-2, and you just need to steal one on the road. We'll see. This is going to be very interesting.
It is. It is. I mean, VGK still is up a singular game, just one game now.
Thanks to Verhaeghe. Thanks to Verhaeghe in overtime.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still riding with the boys. And honestly, I'm not worried at all because, as you mentioned, you have a curse with your NHL picks
I
this
do have
year.
a curse.
So I'm not worried. I am super confident that VGK will go back into the Florida Panthers building next game they play, and they'll get it done swimmingly.
Games 1 and 2, since we saw you, games 1 and 2 were both blowouts for the Golden Knights. So that's what scares me a little bit is like, yes, Florida did win, but they had to do it in overtime. So it's like, wow, like when Vegas wins, they win. They win. So we'll see if, but Florida Panthers, like they have good players like the Barkov and Verhaeghe and Tkachuk. They got some guys. So I think they just need to keep it going. They finally got the momentum on their side. And they need to get the next one at home, and then it's a completely new series, 0-0 from there. Well, 2-2, but
yeah, they definitely got to win this next game because if they don't, I'm going to be. I mean, coming back from 3-1 is also a rough spot to be in. Winning 3 straight.
We'll see, but I still got to ride with my Panthers. I still got to ride with them.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I've never been this excited for NHL ever in my life. Just because we have opposite teams, it's fun to watch the games now.
It is. I wish we were recording earlier, but I was jumping for joy when Verhaeghe scored. I jumped out of it. We were setting up for the podcast. I had it on my computer, and I was like, Verhaeghe! That was nice.
I thought it was a bullshit goal.
And there was a bullshit call. If the Vegas won that first minute in overtime on that BS power play that they got with 11 seconds left, I would have been so pissed.
I would not have. I would have been jumping for joy. And that call was not bullshit.
That was not a tripping. He tripped over the dude's skate. That's not tripping.
It sounds like it's tripping. You just said he tripped over the dude's skate.
But that's not like a tripping is meaning like you get the stick in there. Like so if you're skating over a dude's foot, that's not their fault.
But what if he intentionally stuck out the foot a little bit though? Thought about that?
Yeah, but did you watch the replay?
I did. It looked like it could have been a little intentional. It could have been a little bit swinging to VGK side.
You're just biased.
I might be biased. I'll be honest. I'm definitely biased towards VGK, but it's okay. Yeah, I'll give it to you. You guys got this one. I'm happy. Honestly, I would have felt bad if you guys were down 3-0. So
yeah,
I'm sure you would have.
I'm sure you would have felt bad. I'm sure you would have.
Not at all.
Yeah, and then so we won. That's all. If Verhaeghe shut your ass up, that's what he does.
He did shut me up. That is true.
Verhaeghe! Come on now.
Do you think you'd be able to play hockey and skate around in the ice rink?
I've tried. I went to like the one of like the little skate things where you kind of just go in a circle with like there's like a bunch of like 50-year-old moms there.
Oh yeah.
And I like couldn't like stay on my feet for more than like 5 seconds. Or if I was on my feet, like I wasn't like I would just keep picking up speed and I didn't know how to slow down, so it would just be like I'm flying past motherfuckers,
Yeah, I have a very interesting story with this as well. My first time ever ice skating did not go well. I hit my ass a couple of times. Always you got to go down, hit a couple push-ups, make it seem like it wasn't. You planned to get down on the ground. But I had little kids chirping at me, calling me speed racer and to slow down. So it was not a good day of ice skating for me.
Yeah, it was not a good day for me either. The little like rink girl like came out to me and was like, "Would you like the little dinosaur to push around?" And I was like, that's when you know you're down bad. She sees you falling a couple of times. You're like, "Here, like get your footing. Here's the little dinosaur to help you out to push so you don't fall on your ass."
Yeah. You know something that we are good at though, Travis?
What is that?
I think we're pretty good at conducting some public interviews and asking some sports questions.
I would say so.
I would agree. Do you know what segment we do that in?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Oh, well, I'll take care of it for you. Because guess what? We're going mobile. What's up, guys? We're back for episode 9 of Going Mobile. Stay tuned. We got a good one. We're going to be interviewing the University of Oregon students. So let's see what sports questions we got today and what answers we can get out of these students. We'll see you in a sec. All right, I think we got someone over here. Let's go check it out. Excuse me, sir. I see you're playing hacky sack over here. So you must be a little bit of a sports guy yourself, huh?
Not really.
No?
No.
Do you at least know that the NBA Finals is going on right now?
No.
No? Okay, well, take your best guess. Who is currently playing in the NBA Finals?
Miami Heat.
Okay, and who else?
Lakers.
That is correct, guys. So you keeping up with the NBA Finals?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah? All right, who's playing right now? Just wanted to make sure you know.
And the Nuggets?
Okay, who you got?
We got the Heats. I got the Heats.
I got the Nuggets.
How do you think Jokic plays so well, even though he plays like a 40-year-old dude at the rec?
That's for him, bro.
Yeah?
That's his favorite.
Why does he play so well? Talk to me.
He's efficient.
Yeah.
He finishes efficient. He finds his teammate when they have opening. He just make the right play every time.
Yeah, no, he does. But
He's
like,
more worried about his team, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like, he's the most unathletic run. Like, have you seen him?
Yeah.
The man's like, he goes down the court like this. Are you guys diss Jokic or what?
No, this is just the question that I thought
Okay,
of
for sure.
off the top of my dome. So I gotta ask it.
Where did Leo Messi just sign to?
Inter Miami.
Thought it was wrong. He's
Not
playing for Saudi Arabia now.
the Suns won.
Because the Inter Miami, like they dropped out of it. They didn't have enough money.
Really?
That's what I was told.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, me either, honestly.
What club in Saudi?
The same club Ronaldo plays for.
That's not possible. He wasn't linked to Nassar. He was linked to Etihad and there's one other one.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's Al Nassar though.
I think it might not been. It might have been Qatar then instead of Saudi. I forget.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember either. Sports question, not like a super serious, just like chill, you know?
Okay.
You guys down?
I don't know much about sports, for sure.
What team does Steph Curry play for?
Isn't it the Lakers?
The what?
Isn't it the Lakers?
That is correct. Give me some. Oh.
Sweet. Okay.
So I thought you said you didn't know your sports.
I feel like everyone knows that one.
I would agree, I guess. You want me to give you a tougher question?
I think we should end it on a high note.
Yeah.
You're right.
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask you a sports question?
Yeah.
All right. Were you watching the NBA at all this year?
Yeah.
Okay. What player just recently broke the most points ever to be scored in NBA history?
LeBron.
That is incorrect.
Most this year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know? Take another guess.
Devin
It was close.
Booker.
That is no way.
Is that it?
That's the one. That's the
No,
one.
he did not.
Yes, he did.
I think I remember that, but
I
that's
promise you.
surprising.
I promise you. Yeah, D Book. I mean, he's wet. Come on, wet like I'm Book. You know the song.
I do, but he broke the record.
He did.
That's not
Yeah.
true.
I promise you.
Of all NBA all time.
All NBA all time.
I'm gonna have to look that one up.
You got to.
You down?
So down.
You think you could play some defense on me? You think I can cross you up?
Shit, bro.
You're playing defense on me? Oh! Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. You too. That was awesome. I'm honestly not that good, but let's see if our University of Oregon students know their songs. Excuse me. Can we ask you a question?
Yeah.
What song are you listening to?
Waiting Around to Die by the Be Good Tanyas.
Oh, can we test your knowledge and see if you know this song?
Sure.
All right, you ready?
Goosebumps with Travis Scott.
Damn straight, big guy. Congratulations, that is correct.
Excuse me, guys. Can we ask you guys a quick sports question? Sure. Sports question? All right. Who, before LeBron James, who's had the scoring record in the NBA?
Any
Will
idea?
Chamberlain.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. Thank you
What
so
do we
much.
win?
You guys win respect and credit.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Do you know this song? You ready?
Yeah. Crazy right now.
No.
Oh. Okay.
You're almost there though. You're right there.
Crazy. Crazy in love.
There you go.
Crazy
There
in
you
love.
go.
All right, guys. We got a candidate up here. Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, miss. Excuse me. Oh, we're gonna get her. Don't worry about it. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes, you. Yes, you. Do you know your sports?
Do I know my sports?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Okay. What sport do you know best?
Baseball, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, who has hit the most home runs this year so far?
Oregon?
No. In the MLB. Sorry, MLB.
Oh, I have no clue.
Okay, then tell me, Oregon.
Oregon?
Come on, you've been going to the games, right?
Yeah, I want to say Sabine Ceballos.
That is correct.
Really?
That is correct.
There we
Okay,
go.
but wait 1 second. Who is the most attractive player on the baseball team?
Turner spelled Jarek.
Turner, if you're watching this, you got your girl right here. Come get her.
Yeah.
We are gonna ask you a sports question. I want to set you guys up for success. Yeah,
All
okay. Now they're involved. Now they're ready for it. Now they're ready. All right. Would you rather hit a walk-off grand slam in the MLB or throw the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl?
Oh.
Like, is this like World Series? Like,
Game 7,
Game 7 or
I'm going Game
touchdown
7.
in the
Like,
Super Bowl.
well, I played baseball in high school, but like I think that's just like way more hype. Like,
I think that's more iconic.
I think it's more
I
iconic.
think
It's more
there's enough
iconic.
thrown touchdowns for a Super Bowl
Yeah,
win.
we've seen a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
But like a walk-off home run in the World Series, grand slam.
Grand slam.
What? You're
Yeah.
down by 5. That's stupid.
Yeah, but what?
Yeah.
But now here, let me paint a picture for you.
All right.
So you 13 seconds left on the clock. You got like 2-3 plays, maybe
Yeah.
max, right?
Yeah.
No timeouts. You're down by 4.
Right.
So you got to go score a touchdown, and you drive down the field, 13 seconds, score a touchdown, win the fucking
All right.
game.
Let me like somebody else. You know, like the quarterback doesn't do that on his own.
Yeah.
There's a wide receiver that beats someone.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
in baseball, like
You
you
have to
hit
line
that
it up.
fucking
You
home
hit
run.
it.
You know what I mean?
Okay. You know what?
Yeah. I agree.
You know what?
Completely.
I won't lie. I'm not a baseball guy. I would say football no matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
But you guys low key convinced me
Yeah.
to switch sides.
Come
I'm not
on,
gonna lie.
come on.
Come on. Yeah, I'm going grand slam. Do a quick sports question.
Oh God, okay.
So I see you're wearing the Kraken shirt. You're a big Kraken fan?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. Who has hit the most home runs in the Kraken this year?
That's a hockey team. So
Oh man. Who has scored the most goals on the Kraken this year?
goals? It's Jim McCann, wasn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it was him. Yeah.
Do you play hockey?
I did when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
What position you play?
I mean, when I was a kid, I was a center. But
Okay. And you were laying kids out when you were a kid,
fuck
huh?
no. Look at me, bro. Look at us. Look at the size comparison. I
Oh, look
wasn't
at you. What you talking about? What
I
you talking
wasn't
about?
laying anybody out, dude.
Excuse me, guys. Can we ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to play a song, and I want to see if you guys can guess what song it is.
Okay.
Yeah? Ready?
Sure.
You do? Already?
Yeah.
You're like that.
Yeah.
All right, what song is that?
It's Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's incorrect.
What?
That's incorrect.
What is it then?
That is not that song.
What is it?
It's going to be Pure Cocaine by Lil Baby.
I don't know if I believe you.
I promise. Look. Yeah, she's right. She's right.
Excuse me. Sports question. Yeah. It's a little this or that. All right. Would you rather have LeBron James' agility, LeBron James' whole athleticism, or Steph Curry's shot?
Ooh, it's got to be LeBron James' athleticism. I'm not a fan of LeBron, but he's an athlete.
Really?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to shoot like Steph?
So I think if I was athletic as LeBron is, I'd go take my talent somewhere else, you know?
Wow. Like, where would you take him?
Some other sport, definitely not basketball, because I'm a Golden State fan. I'm from the Bay, so like I don't want to challenge Steph, you know?
Yeah, no, I feel you. All right.
Can you please name 5 players from the LSU team that won the Natty?
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
There's a guy on defense. I know. I just can't think of it.
And there's one more offensive player that's pretty big name right now in the NFL. Not huge.
No, that running back that's on the Chiefs. I
Mhm.
don't remember. Edwards Eclair.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it. I'll
And then
accept
there's
that.
a DB. I can't remember his name.
Hey, you did a good job.
I'm from there. It's been a while.
I
so.
got you. Honestly, that's the only 4 I would have been able to
Yeah,
get. So you did it. All right. Are you a big golf guy? You seem like you'd like golf.
I do work on a course.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So who's your favorite golfer of all time?
I guess Tiger Woods.
Okay. All right. So then this might make this question a little easy for you.
Alright.
Would you rather play a round of golf with Tiger Woods or play a game with LeBron James?
Probably LeBron James.
Really? Even though Tiger's your favorite golfer?
I don't really like golf that much. You know, I work on a course, man. I'm not
No
good at
way.
it. But LeBron James, though, you know, he's a legend.
He is. But Tiger's also a legend,
They're
though.
both legends. I mean, there.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good one with me. You, sir. You're the man I've been looking for all day. Can you hit a gritty with me right now? Let's do it. Let's gritty right up here together. Come on. Hey, okay. He's got it like that. Yes, sir. You too.
What's up, guys? Welcome back from Going Mobile, Grittying Mobile, whatever you want to call it. we had some fun. We asked questions about if they knew music. You know,
Oh, yeah.
did something a little bit different, and we had a good time.
Yeah, you gotta have a good time when we're going mobile. You know.
No, exactly. So now let's have a good time for some bets. Better betting as always. Panthers win. We've talked about that earlier, and they're gonna keep doing it. I got the Panthers series winner. Mine as well, right? Mine as well. Stick with it. Mine as well. I mean, they're on a roll now. The momentum bar is swung in the Florida's direction. So I think they're definitely going to win at home. So if you're going to place a bet, definitely say, hey, Game 4, Florida wins. But we'll see.
Am I remembering this correctly? Did you have on a previous better betting that to take VGK for something?
I don't remember that.
All right, we'll pretend like it didn't happen then. Keep going.
Panthers winner. Don't let the man stir your whatever. Your cognizant.
VGK all the way, baby.
And really the only other big sporting game outside of the MLB that's going on is the NBA Finals. So we're going to take Game 4, Nuggets money line. I think they're going to get it done. I honestly don't think Miami's going to win another game from here on out. So in Game 4, I'm going to give you a couple player props that you can throw in there. First, this might be my favorite bet of all time. Christian Braun over.
Who the fuck is that?
He just had 20 points.
Who the fuck is that guy?
He's obviously Tucker was not watching Game 3, but Christian Braun over 4.5 points. He's a dog. He had 20 last game. He was a big part in the role playing wise of why Denver has been good recently, especially in the finals. He's definitely picked it up. 4.5 points, especially when he scored 18 plus in the last game, I think is insane.
You know what? I'll reframe. You know what? I take it back. If Christian Braun's line is sitting at 4.5 and he's dropping 20 points, listen to this man. He knows what he's fucking talking about. Take the goddamn over on that shit. But also, I've never heard that guy before, so sorry, continue.
Jamal Murray. We're going to take his under 25.5 points. Steve Kerr said that he was the head of the snake, and I think Miami realizes that as well. So I think Miami's doing everything they can, as you saw in Game 2, to limit Jamal Murray, limit his scoring ability, try to not have him get on a roll and get hot. So let's take the under for that. And Nikola Jokic, 30.5 points. He just had 41. I think he's hit 30 in this series every single game, so I don't see why you wouldn't take the over 30.5. So those are the bets. They're all on Denver's side. So over Christian Braun points, under Jamal Murray points, and over for Nikola Jokic. That's better betting for me right there. So you could parlay them too if you want, because they're all going to hit. So why not multiply your money?
Yeah, and you guys already know how much we're putting down on that parlay, baby. Come on.
$5.
$5 parlay. Come on.
$5.
Yes, sir.
And here we go. Next.
My favorite part.
A little segue. NFL news coming up.
Yeah, a couple bigger stories here.
We'll run through it quick. You know, the NFL is starting to pick up steam here in the news a little bit. OTAs have started, but Dalvin Cook gets released. Really is the big player. They tried to they couldn't trade him. I heard Miami was interested. Denver's been interested. So maybe they were like, hey, no one else is going to trade for Dalvin, so let's not have to give up any picks for him and sign him in free agency. But I don't know what Minnesota's doing. What's their backup plan? Their running backs, they're just going to have to roll with Alexander Mattison, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's been looking like. I feel like that's been the headline for a couple of years now, that Minnesota's been wanting Alexander Mattison to take the lead role for a little bit of time now. And I mean, he's not bad at all.
No,
he was a great handcuff back for fantasy. You know, if you're getting Dalvin, you sure as hell better be taking Alexander Mattison, because Dalvin can't stay on the field healthy for a whole season.
No, 100%.
So I don't mind it. I don't think Minnesota gets too much worse after that.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it. Yeah, Dalvin can't stay healthy. And another thing is Dalvin just last year was not the Dalvin we knew. I'm not saying that he played bad to any means, because for a normal running back, he had a good season. But we're looking at 2-3 years ago, one of the top 5 backs in the league. And last year, he was struggling to stay on the field. And sometimes Alexander Mattison would get more snaps than he would. So I think Minnesota, even last year, was like, hey, for future reference, like Dalvin, you're not going to stay here, especially with how they were splitting the running back carries.
100%.
But that leads us to now another 2 teams. We're going to figure out their record. We did it last podcast with Dallas and San Francisco. So, you know, we're throwing the biasness aside as always. So let's see who's on the agenda today who we're going to pinpoint for these records.
As per last week, I have the same exact NFL power rankings listed 1 through 32. We got Siri, the old reliable. I'm going to ask her 1 through 32, and let's see what team she gives us today.
All right.
Pick a number 1 through 32.
It's 10.
10 it is. You guys heard it? Let's go see.
I like this. Little above average team here.
Oh, I like this one. Unfortunately, one off from the Seattle Seahawks, but the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I think will actually be a really fun team to do.
All right, let's pull up Jacksonville Jaguars on my thing here. And as always, we have it up on our computer right here. So every week we will keep the same games. We won't say the one team will win the week before and then we flip it the next week when we get the same predictions here. So keep it consistent. So week 1, the Jacksonville Jaguars go to Indianapolis.
That's easy pick for me.
I think I'm going to take the Jaguars there.
Easily the Jags. I mean,
Anthony Richardson's first game, he is a little bit of a raw prospect. We don't really know what we're going to get out of him. So I say let's stick with Jacksonville there.
I agree. Game 2, though. Another story.
I think Kansas City pulls that early in the year. You know, they're going to have new plays. They've been training all offseason. You know, Andy Reid's going to pull a couple of new shit out of their bag. So I'm going to take Kansas City in that game.
Yeah, I mean, not to forget, they are the Super Bowl champions.
They are the Super Bowl champions. They are the Super Bowl champions.
Week 3, kind of similar to the Anthony Richardson situation there with Indianapolis, but going to play the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think CJ will have 2 games under his belt now. Maybe he's performing a little bit better. He's a little bit more comfortable at the NFL level. But I just don't think Houston has enough pieces around him and Will Anderson to get that done. So I'm taking the Jags.
I agree with that one. Looking into week 4, this game will be played in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
They play Atlanta in the United Kingdom. I'm going to have to give it to Jacksonville.
I'm easily going to Jacksonville.
The next game as well, in the United Kingdom as well. I guess the NFL is really trying to push Jacksonville as an international team, but unfortunately, they're not going to win that international game. They're playing Buffalo. I think Buffalo's going to play them close, although I think it's going to be a closer game than people think, simply because Jacksonville for the last 3 or 4 years has been used to get they always play in the United Kingdom, so their team's used to going out on those long flights and doing that. Where Buffalo, it's kind of a new thing for them. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe Jacksonville's just gonna stay and have a nice little tour of England for that week period, because they got back-to-back games there.
Yes,
but then they go back and play Indianapolis again, and I don't think anything has changed.
Nope.
Indy's not going to be a great team next year. I'm taking the Jags. And then next week's an interesting one. This one's a toss-up. What are your thoughts on this one here?
At Thursday, a short week at New Orleans, I'm still going to take Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. Derek Carr is now the head monster for the Saints, but I just don't trust the Saints defense. They're getting kind of old. And they got some new guys in Olave and all that, but overall, I think I trust Jacksonville's roster more. And I really don't know what's going to happen with Alvin Kamara. So there's a lot of question marks with New Orleans. So we'll see. But as of right now, I'm going to give it to Jacksonville.
Yeah, and you might as well chalk it up to the Jags again next week, because they're playing the Steelers, and I think the Steelers are one of those teams that are going to be bottom 20 teams in the league. The bottom of the league.
That's what everyone says every year, but Mike Tomlin somehow pulls a winning season out of his ass. So we'll see what happens. I think Pittsburgh has the likes to be what they were last year at 9-8. Nothing's really changed for them, but Jacksonville has the better roster and is the better team. So then going into week 9, they have a bye, so they get the rest up. Week 10, they play San Francisco. We went through San Francisco's.
Yeah, we already got this one decided here.
We went through San Francisco's record last week, and we said that the Niners were going to win, so we're going to keep that consistent here. Titans versus Jags at Jacksonville. This is going to be interesting. Although it's at home, I think they will split, but I'm going to give each team the win at home. So here is going to be Jacksonville.
All right, that's fine with me. But unfortunately, I don't think the Houston Texans will be splitting with the Jaguars, because I think the Jags are just going to mop the floor with them this year. So give that one to the Jags. But then they're going to one of my personal favorite teams. I have a soft spot in my heart for this team. The Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Shiesty are going to easily take care of Trevor Lawrence and those Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean I think it's pretty hard to beat that offense, and Jacksonville can score, but I do like Cincinnati bet more than I like Jacksonville, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Next, we have Cleveland versus Jacksonville. This, again, I think Cleveland's going to be better than a lot of people think.
I agree.
I'm still going to take Jacksonville, though. I do not think the Cleveland Browns will end up winning. I think Jacksonville has a good run game. They got good receivers. Trevor Lawrence, they got a good defense. Like they're going to be a good team this year.
Next, though, they're taking an L to Baltimore.
I agree.
Lamar, fresh off the new contract. You got him a couple more receivers now. I think Baltimore is going to be a sneaky good team. And not to forget, J.K. Dobbins should be healthy for the full year, and I think he's a pretty solid back. So I'm taking the Ravens here.
Yeah, I agree. Next week, I feel like that's pretty obvious. They're going to beat Tampa.
Everyone's beating Tampa next year.
Yeah, Tampa's one of the worst teams in the league, and you can chalk it up to that. I don't see Baker Mayfield or Taylor Heineke winning them a lot of games next year, so we'll see how that goes. Although Week 17, I might have a little bit of a controversial pick here. We're 17 weeks into Bryce Young's career. They honestly don't have that bad of a roster. Miles Sanders, Adam Thielen, they got some guys. I think Carolina is going to upset the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 17. I think you got to throw a little bit of upsets in each team's record. You know, none of the games are going to go completely as predicted.
Yeah.
And I think this is one that we see being an upset. I think Carolina, especially when Bryce Young plays some games, gets comfortable, we can see Carolina maybe sneakily winning a couple games later in the year.
Yeah, no, I actually don't mind it. At first I was a little confused where you were going. I was like, I don't know, but I don't know. You kind of you convinced me a little bit. I'm okay going that actually. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. And it's towards the end of the year. You got the Jags. We already have at 10-5, 10-6 after they lose to the Panthers.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Going into that game 10-5, it's okay. Give them a loss. I think they'll have a playoff spot locked up if that's their record. So yeah. Give them a loss, and then we did already say that we're going to split games with Tennessee, so give them the loss in Week 18 as well to
Give
Tennessee.
them the loss there, and that finishes the Jaguars up at 10-7, which is exactly where I thought they would be. You know, definitely double-digit wins. Could be 9-8, could be 11-6, but
somewhere in that ballpark.
They're most likely going to win their division, and they're going to have the 3 or 4 seed in the playoffs just like they did last year. Nothing completely, like they didn't go out and grab anybody that completely improved their team.
No.
But they didn't lose anybody that you were like, okay, they're not going to be a playoff team. They're going to be a team that may be surprising and sneakily in the playoffs, might win a game or two in the playoffs, but overall, 10-7 is I think where they'll stay around.
I agree. I mean, it is our list, so I definitely agree with that. But also, not to forget, they're a pretty young team. So I mean, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne. I mean, that's pretty much your core. Christian Kirk is pretty young as well. I mean, all those guys have only. I mean, Travis Etienne was hurt his first year, so he didn't really get to play, with the team. So I think that this year's gonna be interesting. All those guys finally got a full year to play with each other together. And a full off season, right? So it's gonna be interesting. I think that they could be a pretty good team down the road.
Yeah. So here we go. We got team number 2.
Let's see what Siri has to pick for us.
Let's see. Hopefully Siri doesn't start doubling up on these teams here. I'm gonna get a little nervous if she starts picking.
Pick a number 1 through 32. 9. Have we done 9 yet? We have not. She just likes staying in these top 10 teams. We have yet to go outside the top 10. The Los Angeles Chargers is the 9th ranked team here.
I like it. Chargers, this is an interesting team. I've seen a lot of analysts be super, super high on the Chargers, and I've seen a lot of analysts think that they're just going to be a mid-team as they have been in the past. But let's get right into it. Week 1, Miami travels to L.A.
Oh, we might have different takes on this. I want to hear what you have to say first.
I'm going to take the Miami Dolphins.
That's what I was thinking too, so perfect. Let's take Miami here.
I'm going to take Miami. I think especially we know Tua's going to be healthy in that game. That's for certain. Week 2 through Week 17, we have no clue where Tua stands, but at least we know Week 1 he's going to be healthy.
He's going to be concussion-free, that is for sure.
And they got Jalen Ramsey. They did just draft a young receiver out of TCU, Quentin Johnston, and they have Keenan Allen, and they have Mike Williams. But when you got Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey, that kind of game that kind of defeats the purpose of having all those receivers. So I think Miami is perfectly set to beat the Chargers as they will in Week 1.
I'm with that. But week 2, it's a different story.
Different story.
They're going to play Tennessee, the Titans, who they have no quarterback. They have no one else on their team besides King Henry. So I honestly I could see Tennessee being one of the worst teams in the league this year.
Yeah,
so I'm giving this one.
Especially when they still have Will Levis, and who knows when and where he's going to be playing. But I heard Ryan Tannehill wants out, and they just drafted Levis, so we'll see what happens there. But week 3, this is going to be a close game as well.
Toss-up.
I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I'm going Chargers too here, Trev.
I don't think Minnesota is going to be as good as they were last year. They're still going to be a good football team, but I don't think they're going to be north of 12 wins like they were last year. So I'm going to take the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, all those games that the Vikings won, every single one of them in the offseason, they only won by one possession.
One possession.
So definitely agree with you there on that. And also potentially another laughing stock of the league, the Raiders.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are going to be a lot better than people think. I don't think they'll be as much of a laughing stock, but I do think the Chargers are going to handle them pretty well in week 4.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders have arguably the worst defense in the league. I mean, they still got Devontae Adams. They still got Josh Jacobs. They just got rid of Darren Waller. So I don't know. It's tough. It's a toss-up, but I definitely am going Chargers here.
No, same here. And week 5, they have their bye, an early bye for the Chargers. Moving into week 6, we did that one last week. If you were watching, we already said that they would beat the Cowboys, so that's an easy win.
Then the divisional matchup here.
Week 7, Kansas City hosting the Chargers, and they will win in Arrowhead. I honestly don't see the Chiefs losing a game at home next year. I don't.
No.
But we'll see what happens. They're the reigning champions.
Yeah.
But we saw what the reigning champions did this last season in the Rams.
They shit the bed. Yes, they did.
Just because you won the Super Bowl last year does not mean correlate the wins the next season. So.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see if the Chiefs are able to get DeAndre Hopkins onto that roster. Oh, it's over for the league. It's over.
It's gonna be crazy. Although DeAndre Hopkins has gone on visits elsewhere, so it's not. The Chiefs are not the only one trying to reel in the big fish in the offseason. Week 8, this one's going to be a blowout. You got the Bears. You got the Chargers. The Chargers are going to win. Pretty self-handedly. We can move on from that.
Yeah. Oh,
now
this
we got
is
a Monday night primetime game. The Jets hosting the Chargers. It is week 9. Aaron Rodgers is going to be comfortable. If I had to pick one quarterback to beat some of the top corners in the league, it's going to be Rodgers. So I'm going to give it to the Jets.
All right, I'm cool with that. And it seems like they're playing your division because the Lions are in here as well.
The Lions are.
So I don't know. This is another toss-up because I feel like the Lions are one of those teams that could be a very, very good team next year, but no one really knows yet. We have to see them perform. So it is a toss-up, but I think at where it stands now, you have to go with what's known, and that is the Chargers are a good football program. So I'm going with the Chargers here.
I am going to go with the Chargers. I do think the Lions are going to be better than they were last year, but they're not going to be completely good, like winning the division like a lot of people say. Some people have the Lions having 11 or 12 wins, which I don't see.
I personally think the Lions are winning the NFC North. So it is more of a toss-up to me, but I know obviously how you feel about the Lions there. Oh, but I'll let you I'm not even going to speak on this next one.
Week 11, we have Green Bay hosting the Chargers. Jordan Love is going to be well in his bag at that point in Week 11. Although I'm going to have to give it to the Chargers.
Thank you.
I'm a realistic fan. I know that the Chargers are a very good football team. They have a lot of good receivers. They have a good running back. Kind of, Austin Eckler's a good fantasy back. That doesn't really correlate to as well as he does in real life football. He kind of struggles a little bit when it's 3rd and short and he's got to go get a yard. But at the end of the day, I do think the Chargers are going to get it done. I think they just got too much superstar power for Green Bay. I think Green Bay's reloading. They need 1 or 2 more years if Jordan Love pans out to go back to where they were with Aaron Rodgers. But I'm going to have to give it to the Chargers there.
Thank you for doing that, because the way that statement started off, I really thought you were going to start sucking Jordan Love's cock and give it to you guys there. So I appreciate the realism there from you there. Oh, the Ravens again in Week 12. Yeah. I think I'm going to go Ravens on this one here. I really do. I think the Ravens are going to be a pretty fucking baller team next year with what they've done in the offseason.
I do think that the Ravens are going to be good, but I'm going to have to differ here. I think I'm going to go to the Chargers. I think that the Chargers have a lot of star power on the offense that negates what the Ravens have done on the defensive side of the ball. They have 3 solid receivers now. We'll see if Quinton Johnson pans out, but I like that defense from the Chargers, and I think that Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr. and the guys like the likes of that have the ability to stop the new talent that Baltimore has brought in.
They do, but who's going to stop the run there from Lamar?
You still got Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on that D-line, so don't forget about that.
Khalil Mack is about a year away from retirement, but Joey Bosa is obviously, you can't look over at Joey. So, I mean, I think it's going to be close. Hear me out. Let's do a little rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins, we'll give it to.
All right, let's do it.
Just one.
All right.
One round.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right. You give it to the Chargers there.
The Chargers are winning that game.
Not
Moving
opposed
on.
to it, as we are from Oregon. We love Jay Herbo here, so Justin Herbert, you get the win there.
Week 13, I think they continue, moving it to a 4-game win streak. They beat the New England Patriots. I think the Patriots have no clue what they're doing. I love Bill Belichick as a coach, but they can't commit to either being bad or they can't commit to winning. So we're going to see, how that goes. So
I think it'll be a closer game than people think it will be because obviously you have one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time over there with New England.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very confident that the Chargers will get it done when it's all said and done.
Week 14 here, this right here is, you know what? Actually, it's going to continue. The winning streak is going to continue. I was going to give it to Denver, but the Chargers at home, they're going to win. A lot of these times I tell myself the Chargers at home when really they can't fill the stadium in SoFi with their fans because they have no fans in SoFi. So really when I think about it, Denver is going to be at home because that's just how it is. I mean, especially if you look at last year, if you go to any Chargers games, it looks like they were playing away every single season or every single game.
Yeah, that is the Rams stadium. That is true.
But I'm still going to give it to the Chargers here.
Yeah.
Week 15 here, I'm going to have to go to the Raiders. I don't know what you're thinking here.
You know what? I'll agree with you. I'll give it to the Raiders here. I think maybe, I think every single team schedule, we should pick at least one little controversial upset there. So I'm okay going the Raiders there.
Yeah, they're big rivals. So, I mean, both teams are going to come to play, and I think if the Raiders are going to want to win one game, it's going to be this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then we'll have them splitting, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Next week, though, the Chargers were hot there for a little bit.
Yep.
But they're going to catch 2 L's back-to-back because they're going to play Buffalo, the Bills. Josh Allen is going to absolutely torch that defense. I know that the Chargers do. You were talking about Asante Samuel and that Chargers defense, but I don't care. The Bills and Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and that offense is very difficult to stop. So I'm giving it to the Bills here.
And I think the losing continues in Week 17. I think Denver beats the Chargers.
You're having them split with Denver, too?
Yeah, I think Denver's going to be better than a lot of people think. I think Sean Payton as a head coach, we know how good of a coach he is, and I think he's going to completely change the system there.
Okay.
And the Chargers are always really good on paper, and they always are not as good as people think, record-wise. And I think that's going to continue this year as it did last year and the year before.
Yeah. All right, but we'll be nice. We'll let them. I think we'll let the Chargers end off the season with a win. I think the Chiefs are already going to have that division and the playoff spot locked up. Nobody's going to be playing for the Chiefs, so I'm giving it to the Chargers here because they might be playing for a little wild card spot there.
Yeah, I do agree. Even if the Chiefs have something to play for here in Week 18, I do think that the Chargers are going to win simply because the Chiefs kind of got worse. They lost a lot of that receiving, McCole Hardman, Juju Schuster. They lost a lot of the talent there in the receiving room, and they lost. So with Mahomes' contract kicking in, so I don't think the Chiefs is going to be like a 14-win team like they were last year.
Yeah.
I think they're going to sit around 12. I mean, we'll see when Surrey wants us to choose their record. But here that finishes the Chargers off at 11-6, which again is around where I thought they would be. So I think we've done pretty good for the first 4 teams we've done.
No, I agree. And I keep thinking, I feel like we've had all of the teams around that kind of standing there, but Siri has just been wanting us to do the top teams in the NFL, I guess, because we have yet to have a team below a power ranking of 10.
No, it's true. It's true. And if you guys have not watched last episode's podcast,
yes,
give it a watch. If you're a Cowboy fan, if you're a Niner fan, you want to see what we have you guys ranked at, what your record will be next year. I'll put a little box up there so you can click it and watch it. But make sure you go watch that. It was a great podcast.
Yes, banger episode for sure.
Banger episode, just
Every
like this one
episode
was.
is.
Just like this one was.
Exactly. But yeah,
that's all we got for you today. That's all we got. Let's wrap this thing up as always.
Yeah.
Cue that outro, baby. Peace.